A black envelope with your name was placed under a judge's table. Its contents will shake your soul. You must read this before the decision is made behind your back. Archangel Michael says, this is not an ordinary message. A black envelope with your name was placed in silence, hidden underneath a table where justice is decided, and what it contains will shake the ground beneath your feet. You must not delay opening this message, for the clock is ticking and shadows are moving behind your back. It was slipped in quietly, without notice, just moments before the courtroom lights dimmed for the night. The judge hasn't seen it yet, but the one who placed it knew exactly what they were doing. This envelope holds more than just ink. It holds truth, pain, and a power that could either free you or trap you forever. The person who placed it wore gloves, dark ones, like they were handling something dangerous. They looked over their shoulder twice, knowing that even a whisper could ruin everything if heard by the wrong ears. Their hands trembled not from fear of being caught, but from fear of what you might do once you read it. Inside that envelope are documents not meant to be seen by the public, not even by the court. Hidden testimonies, photographs, recorded confessions, things you thought had disappeared, erased from the earth. But now, they've come back, and they're in your name. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This envelope contains signatures from people who once betrayed you, now recanting under pressure. There's a statement from someone unexpected, someone who vanished years ago, confirming that what was taken from you wasn't by mistake, but by design. The truth has been crawling in silence, waiting for the right moment to strike. The judge, unaware of this dark package beneath their table, is preparing to sign a ruling that will affect your destiny. A ruling based on half-truths and manipulated facts. But that ruling could be reversed, if only you reach this message in time. The one who hid the envelope is not your enemy. They are someone who once turned against you, but guilt has rotted their soul night after night. They were the last person you'd expect, yet they came back with trembling hands, determined to set things right. Archangel Michael says, no power formed against you shall stand, not when heaven has already intervened. Even when men plotted, when families turned silent, and when false papers floated across desks, the light was still watching. Now that light has moved, and it's exposing the dark that thought it had won. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You must listen now, not later, because the courtroom is not just a place of judgment. It's a place where your name is being whispered in conversations you're not invited to. The envelope carries a piece of your life that was stolen and buried in a system designed to forget. A bribe was accepted, yes. That's inside the envelope too. Names, bank transfers, fingerprints, all attached to a lie that nearly destroyed you. There's a woman involved. She cried when the documents were handed over to her. She held on to them for 3 weeks, torn between fear and justice, before finally walking through the courthouse with eyes lowered and hands shaking. She was once told to disappear. They paid her to vanish, to leave the city and never return. But she didn't burn the papers. She kept them. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The black envelope doesn't just reveal betrayal. It reveals timing, specific dates that will align perfectly with everything you've experienced. You'll finally understand why certain people walked away, why silence replaced affection, and why one man left without saying goodbye. A name will stand out. One name, written in bold across a page that you will never forget once you see it. That person orchestrated everything, from the theft to the false testimony. Your signature was forged once. That, too, is proven in the documents inside. A handwriting expert, paid off originally, has now submitted a second report, this one true, this one under oath. Archangel Michael says, "Heaven saw the ink dry before the lie was sent forward. Now the sword of truth has fallen, and what was once hidden beneath wooden court benches is rising to the surface like fire through ice." Type Amen to get blessing 111. You might remember the night you couldn't sleep. The night you heard whispering just beyond your door, though no one was there. That was the night the copy of this envelope was printed. Every tear you cried, every time you questioned your sanity, was not in vain. Those who caused it are about to be confronted by truth they can't escape from. The court date was changed. You were never informed. The decision was meant to happen behind closed doors, without your knowledge, without your defense. But the envelope changes everything. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Someone powerful is involved. Not just a stranger, but someone whose voice rings in respected circles. Their name has protected them, until now. They wanted land. They wanted assets. They wanted to break you down until you signed everything over. But you didn't. You resisted. And that resistance lit a fire under the ground that now burns under the judge's table, where your truth sits quietly, waiting. The judge will find it, if you act fast. If your spirit commands what was lost to rise. If your voice speaks before the final papers are stamped. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The envelope also includes a voice note, one you'll recognize instantly. A confession made after midnight, whispered between sobs and guilt. The person said your name 4 times in it. They never meant for it to go this far. But greed pulled them deeper. Now, they want you to know the whole truth, even if it costs them everything. A lawyer who once smiled in your face is the same one who buried evidence. That smile hid a secret, and that secret is rotting inside the envelope like a ticking clock. Archangel Michael says, what they tried to bury in darkness, heaven will force into the light. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The courtroom will go silent. The judge will freeze. The envelope will be opened. And suddenly, everything they thought they knew about you will crumble. There will be gasps. There will be apologies. There will be someone who runs out of the room before your eyes can meet theirs. That's the moment it all turns. That's when chains fall and doors open. That's when they will know, you were never alone. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The bailiff will not know what to do. The document wasn't part of the official files, but once it's opened, it becomes the loudest voice in that courtroom. Every eye will be on you, even those who once looked away. You will rise, not by force but by divine order. The atmosphere will shift, and even the ones who mocked you silently will feel the weight of guilt pressing against their chest. You won't have to say much, because the evidence will speak like thunder. The woman who cried is seated at the back. She avoided looking at you, afraid of what your eyes might ask her. But the moment she sees the judge hold that black envelope, she will finally lift her head. There's also a hidden file within the envelope, sewn into the lining, like it was never meant to be found unless searched with care. That file contains a photograph. In it, someone is signing your name, while laughing. Type Amen to get blessing 321. That image alone will be enough to shatter the lies. The courtroom will not be able to ignore it. They'll zoom in, print copies, whisper, and one by one, the shields of deception will collapse. You will remember the place where it happened. You'll recognize the table, the pen, the painting on the wall. It will confirm what your heart always knew but couldn't prove, until now. One man, thought to be your ally, was feeding your secrets to your enemies. His name appears 4 times in the file. He received payment through untraceable means, but a printed screenshot of a forgotten bank transfer now makes it traceable. The person who gave it to him? Even worse. Their name was never mentioned until now. But the envelope makes no mistakes, it exposes all. Type Amen to get blessing 636 in one section. There's a page titled Final Transaction. Your inheritance, yes, your rightful share, was shifted behind your back to a name you've never heard before. But that name is connected to someone very close. You've seen them at dinners. You've trusted them. But behind the scenes, they were working with a masked committee to ensure you'd lose. They wanted your land, your rights, your silence. But what they feared most was this moment, when the envelope would rise from underneath and become louder than their lies. Archangel Michael says, the table they plotted on is the same table where judgment will now strike. It will not be you who trembles, it will be them. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Do you remember the day your phone stopped working? That was no glitch. Your calls were being rerouted, your emails intercepted, your documents redirected. It wasn't just technology, it was betrayal wrapped in clever disguise. Now, printed proof of all this is in the envelope. A tech expert came forward. He saw your name flagged in a system used for internal manipulation. He couldn't keep quiet any longer. He gave everything to the woman who cried, and she put it in the envelope. The court clerk, unaware, nearly threw the envelope in the trash. But a whisper came to her that night, a dream where your name was spoken by a voice she didn't recognize but couldn't ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 848. So she left it there, under the judge's table, praying someone divine would cause it to be found. The courtroom is cursed with deception, but your light is cracking the spell. Their masks are falling, one by one. The envelope is not ordinary. It carries weight in spirit. It was blessed with the tears of the innocent and shielded by a force greater than legal power. Inside it, there's also a red stamp, a symbol that was once used by your family generations ago. It proves legacy. It proves bloodline. It proves they underestimated who you really are. Type Amen to get blessing 383 now. The ruling they prepared against you is trembling on thin paper. The judge's pen hovers, unsure. Whispers rise in the courtroom like fire rising in a cold chamber. Someone will try to object. But it will be too late. The black envelope has shifted the entire energy of the case. An investigator arrives late, sweat on his brow, holding a folder that matches what's inside the envelope. His testimony confirms everything. His words shake even the foundation of the courtroom steps. People are crying. One woman faints. The truth is heavier than anyone expected. Type Amen to get blessing 282. But you remain still. Because you knew. Not with evidence, but with spirit. And now your spirit has caught up with the proof. The court pauses. Time seems to slow. Then the judge finally speaks, not with dominance, but humility. The ruling is reversed. The assets are frozen. An emergency meeting is called. Everything pauses, for you. Those who once laughed in secret now hide their faces. Even the cameras can't capture the rawness of what is unfolding. You walk out not just vindicated, but transformed. Type Amen to get blessing 101. The judge will request to meet you privately. In that room, they'll admit something they've never told anyone. A personal dream, days ago, where your name appeared surrounded by light. They ignored it at first. But when the envelope appeared, everything clicked. They now believe. Behind the glass wall, the one who betrayed you is being escorted out. Not just legally, but spiritually. The judgment on them is not only from court, but from a higher realm. The envelope becomes part of official record. Stamped, documented, indelible. Type Amen to get blessing 117. You'll walk into the night, the wind soft around you, knowing something deep inside your chest has changed. You are no longer chasing justice. You carry it now. And the person who helped deliver it, the woman who once cried, will approach you. She'll whisper that she's sorry, but you'll smile and say, "You gave me back my truth." There will be other courtrooms, other battles, but this one marks a spiritual turning point. Archangel Michael says, "The sword that hung above your head has been removed, and placed where it belongs, in your hand." Type Amen to get blessing 334. From this moment forward, every attempt to harm you will be intercepted before it begins. Every scheme will collapse under the weight of divine interference. You're now protected not just by law, but by divine truth, sealed in that envelope like a hidden trumpet waiting to sound. Your enemies silent. Your spirit restored. Your story just beginning. The black envelope was no accident. It was prophecy. And now, you live in its fulfillment. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. As you step outside the courthouse, the air feels heavier, but it's not sorrow. It's a release, the kind that comes after a storm that tried to tear everything apart but failed. The skies above look unchanged, yet everything beneath them feels brand new. Somewhere in the city, someone watches from behind tinted windows. They once paid to see you fall, but now their silence is the price of watching you rise. They will not dare to face you again, because they now know, they were battling more than just a person. They were battling divine timing. The black envelope you never expected saved more than just your rights. It saved your voice, your strength, and the timeline that others tried to erase. Now that truth is on record, you are officially free. Type Amen to get blessing 717. There's a ripple moving through the ones who were involved. They are scrambling to find stories, ways to twist what's been revealed. But it's too late. The truth has already been printed, scanned, emailed, and filed in 3 different departments. The woman who stood at the back has now left. But she's left behind something small on your seat, a single photograph, from your childhood, with handwriting on the back that reads, "They always knew you were the one." It takes your breath away. The judge, unable to continue other cases that day, has requested a spiritual advisor to speak with. They said your name 3 times, like a chant, confused but in awe of what just unfolded. Someone from the jury stops you in the hallway. They say, "I felt something. I don't know what it was. But when that envelope was opened, the whole room changed." Type Amen to get blessing 442. This isn't just a victory. It's a spiritual reset. Your name will be whispered not in judgment anymore, but in reverence. They called you delusional. They called you dramatic. But now, they will call you unstoppable. New doors are opening. Not just in court, but in business, in love, in family. Your voice is gaining reach, and even the ones who doubted are now looking for ways to come back. Archangel Michael says, "Every tongue that rose against you has now fallen into the silence of regret. The heavens have recorded your endurance, and your reward is multiplying." Type Amen to get blessing 123. Your phone rings. It's someone from your past. They were quiet when you needed them, but now they say, "I believe you. I'm sorry. How can I help?" You don't answer with revenge. You answer with wisdom. Because now you've seen what happens when you allow divine order to play out. A week from now, you will receive another letter. This one will be white, marked with gold trim. It's not a warning, it's a reward. What they tried to steal is being returned with interest. The media may never report it, but heaven already has. And now, the ground you walk on knows your strength. Type Amen to get blessing 808. The black envelope will become a symbol in your life. A reminder that silence doesn't mean defeat. That sometimes the most powerful messages arrive hidden, quiet, but ready to roar. You'll tell this story one day, not out of pain, but out of pride. To remind others that when everything feels lost, something greater is still working behind every locked door. There's one person who will be arrested for what they did. You'll hear about it weeks later. You won't feel joy. You'll feel closure. You don't need revenge. You've been elevated far beyond their reach. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Every lie told against you has now become a stepping stone beneath your feet. Every closed door has now swung open with divine force. The people who once wore suits and planned your downfall are now trying to erase their fingerprints from paper. But it's too late. The proof has multiplied. You are no longer seen as vulnerable. You are now feared by those who fear truth. The envelope has changed more than a case. It has changed the reputation of every person who stood against you. And your spirit? It's glowing. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You will sleep tonight for the first time in peace. Not the kind that is borrowed, but the kind that is built. There are more documents being uncovered. Hidden emails, secret meetings, all of which now circle back to your name. But heaven has gone before you. You don't need to fight for what's already yours. There's a property deed inside that envelope too. One they claimed was lost. But it's there. Stamped. Yours. Your name shines on the paper like it was never erased. Because in the realm of divine truth, nothing truly vanishes. Type Amen to get blessing 232. Your family will hear about this. Some will apologize. Some won't. But you will no longer crave their validation. Because now you understand, you weren't crazy. You were chosen. The ones who called you paranoid will be the ones checking their own mirrors soon. Because what they sent out is now circling back. You will not need to explain yourself. The results speak loudly. And those who still pretend not to see, they'll feel it soon enough. The envelope was placed quietly, but its thunder will echo for years. Type Amen to get blessing 989. Now the courthouse has changed. Energy lingers where your truth stood tall. Even janitors speak in low tones about the moment the envelope was opened. Your footsteps are etched into its halls, not as a victim, but as a witness of divine timing. Archangel Michael says, "You survived not to hide, but to rise and teach others how to stand when everyone wants you to kneel." Your name will be cleared not just legally, but spiritually. Across timelines, across realms, across generations. And this moment? It's your turning point.